Hi guys, I hope you're doing well. In this video, I would like to dedicate to lunar eclipse that's going to happen on July 16th in the sign of Capricorn. Before I jump into the video, I just wanted to apologize that this video most likely is not going to have tarot or oracles in it, simply because it's really hard for me to record today. I have the worst headache in my life, and it's been going on for 6 days now. I think it's been like 6 days. It's been raining in Florida every single day, and I get under the weather, and I'm very prone to migraines and headaches generally. And it's just the worst freaking time of my life right now. And there is a tip that I want to give you for times like this. If you are in Florida right now, or if you get under the weather, or if you are simply prone to headaches and migraines, my partner's mom actually bought this for me, lavender oil. I'm pretty sure that you can see it, but because my camera never focuses on anything. This is just lavender essential oil, guys. I'm not sure where she purchased it, but I'm really thankful for this gift, because what I started doing 6 days ago, okay, and what's been working for me is I've been putting it on my temples, and I'm actually doing this right now as I'm talking to you, in the middle of my forehead, and then I just kind of give myself a very brief massage. And guys, this is what's been helping me with my headache. I'm hoping it's going to help me right now too, as I'm starting on this video, because it's very hard to talk. It's very hard to, like, engage in anything really when your headache is this bad. So I found lavender oil to be my savior. And I think that if you cannot take any pills, I've taken 3 aspirins today. If none of the medicine, any pills, painkillers, whatever, are helping you, then I would highly recommend at least trying this out on your temples, maybe in the middle of your maybe in the middle of your forehead, just to relieve some pain. Okay, so let's start with lunar eclipse. I have my notes here, and this is one of the most powerful eclipses, guys. Last one happened in year 2000. I was 10 years old, so I don't really remember what happened around that time. My parents were getting divorced at that time, but I feel like when you're a child, you kind of perceive things differently. So it's hard for me to tell how I was feeling during that eclipse. However, try to think what happened to you in the year 2000. Maybe it was a big event, something that you can't forget. This eclipse is very karmic and powerful. We have Pluto as the main star of the show, and Pluto is a planet of transformation. It is a planet of shame and digging and fears, and just bringing everything, all the dirt, up to the surface so we can kind of reevaluate and heal from it. It's a very powerful planet. Yes, it's small, but it's one of the most powerful planets in our system in astrology. And usually when you receive influence from Pluto, you almost feel like you just don't want to live anymore. And I'm not trying to scare you, I'm just telling you that Pluto comes with a little bit of a twist in our lives. It's not like Jupiter that just expands everything, brings us luck. It's not like Venus. Its influence can be very long-term and very powerful to our lives. We can experience it not for one day, not for 2 weeks. We are going to be experiencing it for about a year or so, at least. Now, Pluto is very prominent in my chart. Even though I only have Pluto in Scorpio, I do not really have any Scorpio in my chart. However, the amount of aspects that Pluto makes in my chart, I'm very used to this energy. I guess I've had somewhat of a transformational life, but I know that it's not over yet, and there's a lot to go through still. But what I'm trying to say is that it can be difficult at first to experience changes that Pluto wants to bring into your life. However, you need to understand that this eclipse is about releasing old and starting new, and that you're always going to be thankful to Pluto, to any other astrological events, lunar eclipses, solar eclipses, for changing your life, because as of right now you may not picture this change. However, once you experience it, your life is going to change for the better. So I don't want you to fear this eclipse. I want to repeat one more time that eclipses are our friends, they're not our enemies, and we should listen to them, and we should grab those hints that they're giving us and try to change our lives for the better. And I know it might be very difficult to do sometimes. Now, since this eclipse is so powerful, there is Saturn there, there's South Node. South Node means what we're supposed to let go of, what we're supposed to release. So you know, you could maybe think that, oh, maybe it's not going to affect me at all. You know, eclipses usually don't really bring a significant change in my life. Well, this is the type of eclipse that probably will, guys. And especially if you've been very stagnant with something in your life, if your life has been stagnant generally, this is such a helpful eclipse, guys, to bring your problems maybe up to the surface, however, also bring a solution to those problems and change your life in a way that you could not picture before, and bring you so many new opportunities, so many new horizons. So I'm really excited to talk about it, actually. I think it's going to be an amazing change for all of us. As for me personally, I don't know what to expect from Pluto, because I never know what to expect from Pluto. Pluto has taught me a lot. Pluto has definitely brought a lot of lessons into my life, but I don't know what to expect this time. I'm going to go sign by sign, as I usually do. We're gonna talk about each sign's areas of life, you know, where this eclipse is going to be influencing you, and yeah, we'll just go from there. Now, another thing I wanted to mention is that it could bring clarity to certain situations. It's not just culmination, it's not just releasing certain fears and pain and problems, people, you know, it's also about gaining clarity in a certain situation in relationships with people. And guys, of course, it's gonna happen in Capricorn, so Capricorns, you are the stars of the show. Cancers, don't think that you're out of spotlight. You still are in there. And Capricorns, if you have your rising sign at the very late degrees of Capricorn, or even if your sun sign or your moon sign, if it's at late degrees of Capricorn, between 20 to 29 degrees, this eclipse is going to influence you the most. Okay, same goes for Cancer, especially cancers that are born around the eclipse. Yeah, you guys, I'm telling you, there will be eclipses happening in Cancer and Capricorn until 2020, 2020, oh my god, and there's more changes to come. If this eclipse doesn't influence you as much, the one in next July will, okay? But it's definitely only done for the better, so please just remember that. Now, since Saturn is there, you know, you might be lacking certain structure in your life. It's all about building structure. It's all about releasing you from certain negative situations, transformation, changing your life. But it's also about structure. So if you're lacking that in your life, you know, most likely things are going to change, and you will be able to build that structure all over again, or somebody else will help you. And for some reason my camera is overheating, which is really annoying, but I'm going to start anyway. So Aries, let's start with you guys. This eclipse is happening in your 10th house, house of career, public image, reputation, status. Very interesting to see how things unfold. It does seem like you are going to choose a new path regarding career. You know, this could be something that pushes you off your track, and you might be a little upset about it at first. However, then you're going to realize, like, why haven't I done this years ago? I'm telling you, this eclipse could change management at your current job. This could be, you know, company completely restructuring their rules, their system. This could be you leaving the job that you have at the moment and starting a business of your own. It's a very significant theme here. You know, it's not necessarily liberation, but it's transformation. It's like you've taken all these lessons that life previously gave you up until now, and now you're transforming it into your own path. Guys, of course, marriage, divorce, you know, that could be significant. You could be divorcing someone, and obviously you already know if you're divorcing or not, because this isn't just going to happen in a snap of a finger. You know, you already have the feeling, you already know, or maybe you're already going through this process. Marriages, you know, you could change the status. You're single now, then you're gonna become married. Now, as for children, you know, if you're planning to become a mom or a father, you're going to probably change your status, you know, from someone without kids now to be a mother or a father. This could be so many ways. Your professional life, you know, career or public image or status change in so many ways. And another thing I want to mention is that there could be a situation with your father that's very significant. Father or authority. Maybe you could let go of that person. Maybe you would somehow find compromise with that person. You know, maybe there's a really annoying boss that has been draining you and making you work I don't know, longer hours, not appreciating your work, barely paying you. Maybe the situation will unfold as if you possibly leave the job or make this person understand what you're worth. Your business plans could change. Maybe you are planning to start a business of your own. Maybe you already have your own business, but you don't know which avenues to take to kind of expand it and make it better. Well, this eclipse, usually, since it's so transformational, it could actually give you transformation of your business. It could give you the expansion that it needs. It could give you interesting people that are going to help you along that path. It could be you changing business plans. It could be completely restructuring your business plan, completely restructuring your business. And this will last for about a year. You know, I'm not saying that this is all going to happen in a matter of days and things are just going to unfold from there. No, it's not like that. It's going to be happening. It's going to keep happening throughout the year. So by next eclipse, you will definitely look back and you'll be like, wow, there's so much that has changed this year. However, you know, eclipses also have that shocking factor to them. Sometimes, you know, one of the eclipses that influenced me very strongly, I think it was an eclipse in Leo in 2017. My moon is in Leo, and that's when my life really changed, okay? And it was a shocking experience at first. It was all for the better, though. I understood it deep inside that it was for the better, but I was afraid to accept it. So this is how eclipses go sometimes, guys. You know, you may experience a shock at first regarding your profession, regarding your career, some kind of a ladder that you've been climbing on, you know, for so many years, and then you'll be like, oh, now I understand why it happened. So this could be the main theme for you guys. Now, Taurus, this event is happening in your 9th house, and this is a house of international relations. People from different countries, immigration, documents, paperwork, visas, passports, green cards, all of that stuff. Now, if you're writing a book, if you're thinking about writing a book, this could be some kind of culmination to that process. Maybe you could finally publish the book. Maybe you could find somebody that will help you with the book. This could be studies, you know, something that you've been studying for a while, finally coming to fruition. This could be you being able to study now. You know, for example, there is this course that I really want to take, and I'm Taurus sun. I really want to take this course, but it costs $800 and I cannot afford to take it. It's an astrological course by an astrologer that I'm like dreaming to take a course from, and Ukrainian astrologer actually. But you know, I can't afford that. So this eclipse maybe could bring me a situation where I'll be able to afford it, you know. This could be a miracle like that. Or, you know, this could also suggest legal matters finally coming to fruition, especially the legal matters that have been dragging for years, you know. This could finally come to some kind of an ending, and you could finally see the future with this legal matter. Okay guys, I apologize, but my camera did die, so let's continue. So contracts, you know, if you've been waiting to complete a certain contract or something, this could be finally that day, finally that time when you're able to do so. However, just because Mercury is still retrograde, I would not recommend signing any contracts, okay? Like, I just, no. Until the beginning of August, I would not suggest signing any contracts. Towards mid-August, yes, of course. However, the opportunity could come up with the eclipse, and you're going to feel its influence for about a year, okay, until next July for sure. So this opportunity for, you know, a contract or regarding maybe immigration, you know, or some kind of documents that you need to complete, it could come up anytime during the year. So it's going to be pretty powerful. Now, also regarding international clients, for example, you deal with international clients on the daily. This could be more international clients that you're going to have. You know, there could be some kind of a major increase. I'm a Taurus sun and I do work with international clients, so we'll see how that plays out for me. And yeah, it's just, you know, everything that is regarding ninth house matters, which is travel, international relations, publishing, studying, you know, maybe going back to school, completing school. There could be, again, that sense of shock when you receive information or receive some kind of change in your life. However, just know it's all done for the better, and even if it's shocking at first, then you're going to look back and be like, wow, why haven't I done this sooner? You know, why haven't I done this years ago? It's going to be great, okay? And I feel like a lot of you will actually be able to immigrate if that's your desire, or to travel, or to finish a legal case that has been dragging for a very long time. Now, Geminis, this eclipse is happening in your 8th house, a very powerful transformational house, I want to say, and this could be literally the time for you to change. Like, and I'm not saying just, you know, change certain patterns in your life, but this could be the time to transform completely. This could be time to transform your belief system. This could be time to transform, you know, maybe the pain that has been sitting inside for a very long time, for years. You know, you could finally kind of release it. You could learn how to cope with it better, and maybe even release it completely. And you know, major psychological transformation, that's what I wrote down for you. Your mentality could change, just your mental state could change, and it's a transformation. Don't forget that. It's not some kind of a bad situation happening. It's not something that's going to bring you down and, you know, not let you get up whatsoever. No, it's actually the opposite. It's the transformation that's happening in your life, and it's a psychological transformation. You could feel very emotional during this period. However, you know, like I said, it's all done for the better, and even if there is a sense of shock that you might experience, because eclipses do tend to bring us shocking situations, information, you know, also Pluto is there. Pluto loves it. So, you know, you could maybe be like, oh, am I doing the right thing? Or is it what's happening to me? Is this normal? Is this how it's supposed to be? Yes, this is how it's supposed to be. South Node is there reminding you that there is something that you need to let go of in the matters of 8th house. Now, this is also a house of sex, so if you do have a person in your life that you just have an intimate relationship with, you know, that could change. That person could possibly take the next step with you and maybe become committed to you, or maybe this could be a situation where you're going to release that person. You're just not going to be satisfied with it anymore. Now, another thing is, you know, this is a house of money. This is other people's money, finances, generally banking. You know, you could be approved for a loan, you know, or this could be something that helps you financially, and it's not something that you earn. This is the money that is almost like given to you. Also, information about inheritance, especially something that has been dragging, because it's almost like shocking when it happens. It's like, wow, I thought this would never happen, you know, or I thought this would happen like months from now, or I thought this would happen a year from now. This is the experience that I've had with an eclipse, not this one, the one like 2 years ago. This is what I was experiencing. Like, I thought this would happen so much later, you know, but it literally happened like right in front of my eyes. Also, splitting certain assets. For example, if you're going through divorce, there could be a surprise coming up there. Taxes, you know, dealing with taxes. Also, if you do want to apply for a loan, and unless you've already applied for a loan, if you do want to apply for one, I would do it in like mid-August. You know, I would not do it right now just because Mercury retrograde and all of that stuff. Now, investments as well. You know, maybe somebody will decide to invest in your business. Maybe you're going to receive help from your partner, marriage partner especially. Maybe their financial situation is going to be different from now on, and you will be able to either benefit, or you will be able to maybe take a part in in their financial life. Maybe you will have to, you know, for example, if you are a stay-at-home mom and you know, your husband's situation, financial situation may not start doing so well, then you will need to find ways how to help your partner. You know, this could play out either way. This could be a positive, you know, a positive kind of event, you know, chain of events, or this could be a little bit shocking and uncomfortable at first, but it's all done for your good. And also, you know, Pluto is a planet of transformation and rebirth, and 8th house is birth, rebirth, birth, death. So, you know, I'm not going to talk about death in this video because it could happen when, you know, death of our loved ones or somebody that we know. It could happen regardless of eclipses, you know, regardless of where the planets are in your chart. So I'm not even going to put any focus on it. However, regarding pregnancy and birth, be careful in case if you don't want to get pregnant. There could be a chance that you actually might with this eclipse. And also birth, you know, for example, you have been pregnant and now it's time to give birth to a child or to a business even, you know, to some kind of a financial venture. This could also be your case as well. Now, Cancer, guys, this is happening in your 7th house, and I actually have a beautiful example. I do have a friend that's Cancer rising, and 7th house is a house of relationships, marriage partners, business partners, clients, enemies. So she is going through divorce at the moment. However, as she was going through divorce, she actually met the love of her life. And what's interesting is that this eclipse might remove a partnership from you, but it's going to bring you new love. And it's not just random new love that you're going to date for a couple months, you know. This is actually love that, first of all, is going to bring so many new things into your life. It's like you will never forget that person. And this person is going to be there for you and help you and teach you so many things. It's almost like a mentor and a romantic partner in one. However, you know, obviously, if you are in a happy marriage, if you are in a happy relationship, don't expect this to happen. You know, don't expect this love to be taken away from you, especially if you're not looking for new love. What I'm saying is basically something that was building up to this point and you decided to maybe get divorced or leave a relationship. This eclipse could bring you a new person and somebody very helpful, somebody very nice, somebody very serious, you know, somebody, the relationship that actually sticks around. Okay, so eclipses usually bring us people that definitely stick around, people that we never forget, and people that teach us something. Now, clients, you know, this could be clientele that completely changes. There could be new clients, some very interesting client that you could have that is going to maybe help you in a way or bring you a lot of you know, benefit and what you call it, I forgot the word. An enemy could come up that you have forgotten about, and they could, you know, try to get at you or something. But again, I don't want you to worry about all these negative people in your life. You know, we all have some sort of enemies, and who cares? You know, just keep moving forward. And also, again, relationships, romantic relationships, business relationships, there could be a change there, or the universe, the eclipse could bring you a new person, new business partner. You know, maybe you will have to say bye-bye to your current business partner if things are just not going well, but it's all done for your benefit. And like I said, I do know someone personally that is going through all these 7th house not issues but things right now, and she's happy. It's not like, you know, she's happy to be done with her marriage. She's happy to take the next step. She's in love with this new person and things are going so well. So please don't fear the eclipse, okay? Just know that it's helping you and it's putting you on the right path with the right people. Now, Leo's eclipse is happening in the 6th house, and this is a house of hard work, routine, effort, serving others. It may be a health concern that can come up because you work too much, okay? It could be something that keeps you, or something that makes you exhausted. and this could be a lot of work and a lot of things that you do maybe for other people. You need to find time for yourself during this eclipse, because it could point at a health issue and be like, you know what, this is because you've been working so hard. This is because, especially if it's physical work, you know, you need to calm down. You need to take a break. You need to do like a health checkup. You need to go to the doctor, or you simply need to just get more sleep, pay attention to your diet, you know, and just relax for a little while. And also, for those of you who work for someone else, you know, this could be a great time, or even a little bit of a shocking time, where things are going to kind of, the tables are going to be turned, and maybe you will decide to leave your current workplace and start a business of your own. This could be maybe getting new ideas for your business. You know, this could be changing your routine. This could be changing your work, like I said, your job, you know, maybe leaving one job, starting a job of your own. Maybe this could be not just leaving your job, starting a job of your own, but this could be either, again, change in management. This could be some annoying coworkers that could influence maybe you changing your perspective about your job, if that makes sense. And I'm not going to say that every single Leo is going to leave the current workplace, Leo ascendant especially. No, you know, not necessarily, but most likely you are going to find new ideas and new ways how to make money. And maybe a situation will happen that will stop you from working so hard, that will stop you from constantly being on the go and doing things, especially doing things for others. And, you know, you will not have a choice but to stop. You will not have a choice but to take a break and relax, okay? So that's that. And I'm not saying that, you know, it's going to drastically affect your health, but it can affect it. You know, it can affect it to the point where you will understand clearly that, yep, I need a break. Now, what else? Maybe you could change your schedule. Again, maybe you will decide not to work as many hours as you do. Maybe you will decide to get into something more creative, something that you love doing, not something that's a burden but brings you money. You know, maybe you're not going to be satisfied with that anymore. So that's that, guys. And now let's talk about Virgo. Virgo, 5th house. Well, even though I really want to talk about new love and romance and joyful time, it's still an eclipse, you know, and it's still an interesting one with Pluto there, with Saturn in Capricorn, you know, with the South Node where we still have to let go of something. It's a pretty interesting one. So I do want to mention, however, that one of the creative projects that you've been working on for so long could finally come to fruition, could give you so many benefits, could turn into a job. You know, this could be a hobby that turns into a job. I'm not a Virgo, but I did have a new moon. I did have an eclipse, just had an eclipse in the 5th house, the one that was in Cancer. And I did start a new hobby. And I'm not exactly sure if this new hobby is going to kind of intertwine with my current job. You know, I don't know yet, but I'm so interested in it and I'm very passionate about it. And I would love to kind of, you know, incorporate it in my work. This could be something similar. You know, this could be a hobby that you've been having, but you didn't know how to turn it into a career, into a job, and maybe now you're going to have an ability to do so. Also, you could receive some kind of insight, or you could get interested and passionate about something that this hobby that can change your life. Again, this could be very transformational to the point where it's not going to be just a hobby anymore. You know what I mean? It's going to take a bigger part in your life. It's either going to become your career, your lifestyle, your belief system. You know, this could go so many ways. So again, it's going to be very interesting to see how it plays out for you guys. Now, also children. This is a house of children. So if you have children, this could be some information that comes around about them, from them. This could be a major life change for them, and you're going to be a witness of that. Again, this could be a little bit of a shocking information that comes around, you know. This could play out which I've heard cases how it could play out. You know, for example, your 15-year-old daughter is pregnant, you know, something like that, something along those lines. But please don't be paranoid. Please don't be afraid, okay? I just gave you an example, but it does not mean that it's going to play out exactly this way in your chart, guys. I think this could be positive information that comes through from your children. Now, again, if you are planning to get pregnant, very good time for that. If you are avoiding pregnancy, be careful, because it's a very high chance that you might get pregnant right now. So yeah, I guess again it's going to be all about self-love as well. Self-love, new love. There could be new love that comes around, and this could be almost like a karmic partner that comes around. Somebody that's going to teach you things, somebody that's going to stick around in your life for a while. But I'm not gonna say that this necessarily could be your marriage partner, you know. Could be, of course, but fifth house is a house of romance. You know, it's a house of romance, it's not a house of marriage. So you are going to probably meet someone interesting, but are they going to be a huge part of your life later on? Maybe, you know, but maybe not. And also self-love, loving yourself, doing things for yourself. Your self-love could be tested with this eclipse, with some surprising events that happen. You will need to react appropriately, and you need to put yourself first. No matter what happens, you need to experience that self-love, and you need to put yourself as a priority during this eclipse. Okay, guys? Okay, now Libra. Libra, you are having this eclipse in the 4th house, family matters, property, homeland, motherland. Yeah, so you guys are going to be probably really concerned with the family matters, and I'm not gonna say that, you know, it's going to be something negative that happens. No, it's just changes. You know, it's changes in your family, maybe a new family member. Maybe a family member will decide to move abroad, and you're kind of going to lose contact with them for a little while, you know, or it's just going to be a shocking information that comes around. This could also be maybe somebody getting divorced or married in your family, so a new family member, you know, meeting somebody's husband, somebody's wife. This could also talk about your mom and, you know, big changes in your mother's life. So pay attention, you know, what could happen that could benefit your mother, or what could happen that you could help your mother about, you know, because you are going to be the witness of that. Now, also, what else? Some family events maybe a huge reunion is going to happen. Maybe this could be real estate questions that are concerning you. Maybe there is a property that has been stagnant and you've been needing to sell it and you haven't found a buyer. This could actually come around as a big surprise to you, that you're going to be able to find a buyer for your property. Now, this could also be seeing and finding that perfect property for yourself. The only thing I want to mention, guys, is that Mercury is still retrograde. So even if things speed up for you very fast right now, this does not mean that you should go and purchase the property right away or do any huge remodelings or anything like that, because Mercury, you know, when it's retrograde, we're all prone to making mistakes. So please don't do that until mid-August. Mid-August forward, go ahead, charge forward, charge ahead, and do whatever you want. So yeah, I think family matters would come to the front, and maybe even since Pluto is there, and Pluto is the planet of digging up all those shameful conversations that we don't want to have. This could even suggest that maybe somebody is going to come out about, you know, and bring clarity to you out of the family. Maybe it's going to be you. And I'm talking about a lot of things that we keep in the closet. You know, this could be different things. This could be even shocking to you or shocking to your family members when you approach them about it, or when they approach you about it. You know, this could be finally exposing the truth. That's what Pluto makes you do, so you can finally move forward, you know. So this could be serious conversations within your family. This could be some topics that you could discuss that might have been hidden for many years, but now this is the time to discuss them so you all can move forward. Okay, Scorpio. So Scorpio's eclipse is happening in the third house, house of siblings, information, communication. So let's just say you're going to receive some big, like, a lot of information. Let's just put it that way. Because it does rule, this house does rule information. So eclipses usually bring us clarity about something. So you could definitely find out the truth about someone. You could definitely gain more clarity in a certain situation, in a certain relationship. This could just be a lot of things connected to other people and how you socialize with them and your communication with them. And communication during eclipse could be a little bit shocking but more clear. So you can move forward from that, if you know what I mean. Also, yeah, this could be information or a conversation that comes around that can change your life. You know what I mean? It's something drastic. It's not just talking to somebody, talking to an ex. I don't know, which those could show up during Mercury retrograde, but it's actually getting to the bottom of the issue. It's finally gaining all that clarity that you've been lacking from a person. It's a person opening up to you. Now, since this house also rules siblings, this could be the conversation with siblings that you're going to have. This could be that clarity gained from siblings, especially if you haven't been on the same page with them, if you haven't really been communicating with them, or it's just your relationship is an issue. This could be a good time to get something, like get the truth out of them. You could have found out what somebody did years ago, and maybe you suspected it all these years, and now boom, you're finally going to find out. You're finally going to know the truth. Also, third house is vehicles, so be careful driving on the day of the eclipse, just because it's a little scary. I don't know, you never know what can happen with that Pluto and Saturn. But this also talks about you possibly purchasing a new vehicle, or getting ready to purchase a vehicle, or maybe a vehicle will be kind of given to you, or maybe you're selling your vehicle. Again, big deals like that I would not recommend doing until middle of August, just because we have Mercury retrograding. And everything we're trying to do during the eclipse, we're trying to better ourselves, we're trying to transform ourselves. Mercury is trying to kind of like mess everything up, you know what I mean? But then also you could get an approval. Third house could be, could talk about an approval for a loan, to move, like a lease, to sign a lease, something like that. Yes, this could be a big time for things like that. Now, Sagittarius, eclipse is happening in the house of income, second house, which pretty much the only thing that comes to my mind is you changing your sources of income. You might have to, since we have South Node in there, releasing, letting go, you might have to let go of one source of income, maybe a few. Again, it's done for your own good. It's done for you to feel better at where you're at in life, and to be able to maybe put more effort or put more work into something that's actually good for you, actually better than what you do now. Now, this is your earnings. However, sometimes this can play out. For example, if you're living with your parents and they're supporting you, they could say bye-bye to you, and you will have to learn how to support yourself. This could also talk about, again, new source of income. Doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to release one or a few sources of income that you have right now, even though, with the South Node and Pluto being there, it's transformational and it has to be released. Okay, so you could release a job, or you could find new sources of income or a few other sources of income that you could incorporate with what you do. Hopefully you're not going to end up with like 5 jobs at the end of this, because like how much can you possibly take? How many jobs can you possibly take? But again, this could actually be a very good time for your income to start boosting, to start growing. This could be the time where you're looking at your finances, you're like, I didn't know this was possible. I didn't know that I deserve to make this much, you know, and this is important to realize, and this is important to apply in your life. Don't be afraid to find new sources of income. Don't be afraid to try yourself in all these different ventures and all these different fields, because you will find with this eclipse, you will find what you love doing, what you're passionate about, and what is going to be bringing you money. Now, another thing is all about self-worth during this eclipse. So your self-worth could be tested. It could be tested, it could be transformed. If you, again, think that you don't deserve certain things in this life, if you think that you're not good enough at this job, or, you know, for this relationship, for this person, if you think you're not good enough, if you think that you're not worth any money, not worth any good career, profession, or anything like that, well, Pluto is definitely going to make you think otherwise. It's going to force you to think different, and it's going to train you, almost like a boot camp type of training, to start loving yourself, to start putting yourself first as a priority, and to just gain that self-love that you've been maybe lacking. Okay, now the next sign we're gonna talk about is Capricorn. Stars of the show. Capricorn, this is happening in your first house, and it's going to influence all areas of your life. And even though it's a lunar eclipse, which means that we have to release something with the south node there, that's what we're releasing, that's what we're culminating. However, first house is a house of new beginnings, so please welcome them into your life. Since Saturn has been in your sign, since all these eclipses are going to be happening in your sign until 2020, well, guys, I want to say that it is a time for change for all of you, a change for the better, a change, you know, a time to grow up, a time to finally explore new things for yourself, and release those things and people, and just everything that's holding you back from reaching your goal. And Capricorn is all about structure. So, you know, you could kind of try to make things perfect all these years. You know, you wanted to make them very, how do you say, like, for the society to accept them, if you know what I mean. Like, you wanted to make them right for the society. You wanted to make them right so, you know, it would be approved by people or something. Maybe you should let go of that a little bit. Maybe you should just accept new beginnings whenever they're given to you, and stop holding on to those old beliefs and old patterns that you used to have, like, I have to go to school because that's what the society accepts, or I have to marry at this age because that's what the society accepts, or I have to have children by this age because, you know, blah blah blah. So I feel like this eclipse is going to actually bring you more of a cheerful energy. You know, you're going to relax a little more and not be so uptight. And I'm not saying the Capricorns are. It's just that the eclipse is happening in your sign for a reason, guys. Whether it's happening on your rising, whether it's happening on your moon, where you're going to experience it emotionally, or if it's happening on your sun, which is your whole image, your public image, your status in this world, and how you present yourself to others, this eclipse is definitely going to bring you tons of new beginnings in every area of your life. Of course, it could start with looks. You could change your looks. Of course, your personality could change due to certain events in your life, due to certain changes. Your personality could change as well. The way people approach you and the way you approach people could change. You could learn some lessons that you haven't maybe learned before. And you will find a new approach towards people. You're going to find a new approach towards work. And maybe you're not going to be so uptight, you know. Maybe what the eclipses give to you, you're going to actually cherish it and turn it into something fun. Again, this could be a new career opportunity. And it could be something that's a little bit out of your norm. You know, you're supposed to release those beliefs that you have. You're supposed to release a certain image, certain label that you have in your head. And eclipse is going to help you with that. Especially Pluto. Pluto loves to dig up all our issues, what we have wrong with us, you know, with our personality, what we have, you know, what are we hiding, and what our fears are. You know, all those things could come up to the surface just so you could transform them. So definitely don't fear of the change, don't fear of these eclipses. If you're not experiencing change anytime soon, you could experience it next July or until next July 2020. That's when this could be like a culminating eclipse in your sign, guys. Okay, so Aquarius, we're talking about Aquarius right now, and it's happening in the 12th house, and 12th house is the house of secrets. So, you know, eclipses always bring us a little bit of a shocking energy, especially Pluto. So, this could be something that might catch you off guard, you know, about someone. This could be a secret that comes to the surface, or maybe you could get your hands on some kind of secret information that nobody knows but you, and maybe use it for your advantage. You know, this could be clarity that you're going to gain. This could be you releasing so many fears. You're literally gonna come out of this eclipse very clean. There's a lot of karmic buildup that you might have going on, since especially it's happening in your 12th house. This is a lot of karmic buildup and a lot of pain and fear from your childhood, from previous relationships, from certain situations in your life. Well, guys, now that you're able to release it with this eclipse, your life is going to be so much easier. Your perspective, like your view on life, on people, might be so much easier as long as you dig, as long as you release. You know, kind of, I feel like 8th house and 12th house are a little bit similar when it comes to eclipses. Oh, hey, music. Because, you know, you release fears, you release certain shame, maybe all those negative memories from the past, and it could come to you literally in visions. It could come to you in dreams, something that points at your fears and what you need to work on. And it's a very almost like psychological eclipse for you guys, to dig in your own head, to dig in your heart, to try to release certain things. Also, this is culmination of certain things that maybe you've been working on behind the scenes. So, for example, you've been working on a book behind the scenes, a project, something, you know, something that you've been working on behind the scenes. It's a great time to release that finally. It's a great time to expose it. Sometimes something that you've been working on behind the scenes may be exposed for you, but, you know, just be careful. Be careful talking to people. Make sure you work on your own issues privately, and if you have been working on some kind of an exciting project behind the scenes, it could be a very good time to make it happen, to make it public. Now, the only thing is, we have Mercury retrograde until 31st of July, but then it's going to be in a shadow period. So until mid-August, sorry, I would not publish anything. I would not make anything super public, especially if it's like a big deal to you that you put all your heart and soul into. I would wait a little bit, okay? However, this could, by the way, also talk about, I already covered releasing the past, I already covered releasing the fears. This could talk about immigration. When I had my eclipse in the 12th house, that's when I got my green card. So here you go, you know, and it actually was a lunar eclipse as well, I think, which means that, you know, I culminated that process that was lasting for years. It finally came to an end. So this could be something like that as well, guys, especially for Aquarius rising people. Now, Pisces, 11th house. I'm a Pisces rising, so let's talk about that. This is about groups of people, larger groups of people. This is about your goals that are more global than private. And, you know, I guess it resonates with me somewhat right now because I do work on the internet, and larger groups of people see me rather than if I worked doing the same thing locally, right? So this is about finding those new goals or approaching your goals in a different way. And again, this could be something shocking that comes up. This could be information. This could be a request. This could be I'm not even sure how to say it, but this could be this idea that comes up that's going to change your goals completely. You could take a completely new direction in your business. You could take a completely new direction with your friendships. You could cut so many people out of your life and bring so many new like-minded people into your life, you know, which has happened to me as well. Now, 11th house is social media, online businesses, working online and things like that. This could, again, bring some kind of a change in those areas. And, you know, this could be good reputation that you might receive. This could be bad reputation that you might receive. This could be maybe some kind of change popularity, or maybe you're going to decide to start a blog, you're going to decide to start a YouTube channel, you're going to decide to start like a Instagram or something, you know, you're going to be like, no, 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 I can't do this locally anymore. You know, I need to start doing it on the internet, for example, right? Maybe you will build your own website or something like that. However, it does come with transformation. So it is a great time to start that, okay? It's a great time to start a new job that's more global, that reaches more larger groups of people from different countries maybe. It's nice to reevaluate your friends list. However, since Pluto is a planet of transformation, depending on how long you've had your work, business, friends, the longer you've had them, the more, like, the larger the transformation is going to be. Because there is nothing to transform yet that you haven't started, right? So, if you've had a business for a very long time, if you've had this certain friendship for a long time, that kind of built up to a certain point, right? That's when transformation is going to happen, because something that already exists needs to be transformed. Now, however, again, if you have certain goals right now for your future, they could also be transformed just as successfully, and you would have to find new ways and new goals for your future, especially when it comes to career, long-term goals, you know, maybe where you want to live, where you want to work, what you want to be, what status do you want to have. It's all going to be under this eclipse, reevaluated. It's all going to be looked at. Like I said, you know, if you don't have a business, if you don't really have any issues with your friends or anything like that, this could be transformation regarding your goals and the way you see your future, okay? Very exciting time, by the way. And of course, restrictions, structure, you know, you would have to rebuild that structure, or maybe you may want to let go of certain structure, okay, and completely rebuild it. That's probably going to depend on you. But thank you guys so much for watching. I forgot to mention this in the beginning of the video, but I also posted a tiny Instagram post about a ritual, full moon ritual, and this is to release negative energy. If we want to attract something, you know, this eclipse is good too. However, since it's lunar, there's a full moon in Capricorn and all that, you know, you kind of want to release the negative energy rather than attract anything. So this would be a great time to release certain fears, insecurities, relationships, whatever you want to release. And I made a post on Instagram about that, in case if you want to check it out. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye-bye.